Hey there, thanks for stopping by and checking out our course snippet taken from the Web Development Masterclass. In our course, we teach the full web development lifecycle, including all the latest web technologies and cloud hosting frameworks. For full course details and registration, please visit the link down below in the info section.
We can use jQuery to fade elements in and out using the fadeIn and fadeOut methods. Here, we have an example of the fadeIn method. When we click the button, a series of div elements gradually fade in. We'll do that once more. You can see that each box fades in at a different time interval as well. Let's examine the code behind this HTML page to see how it works. First, in our body tags, we've created 4 divs. Each div has an ID, div1, div2, div3, and div4. Each div also has a class attached to it. The class name is box. If we refer to our style sheet in the head tag, we can see that the box class has the following attributes: a width of 160 pixels, height of 160 pixels, display none. This means that none of these divs will be visible when the page initially loads. Background color red. As we saw in the demonstration, each div was red. It had a red background color. Now, if we go up to our script, let's examine exactly what's happening to create this effect. Here, we specify when the button is clicked, each div should fade in one at a time. Remember that each div fades in at different time intervals. The time interval is specified here. It's the red number. The first div has a default time interval. In the next set of divs, we have specified the time interval. So div 2 is 1000, div 3 is 3000, and div 4 is 5000. That translates into 1 second, 3 seconds, and 5 seconds. And this is the reason that each box fades in one after the other. Let's take a look at it again in our web browser. So there it is, each one fading in one at a time. Div 2 at 1000, 3000, and 5000. Now say we wanted the elements to fade out. The fadeOut method works the same way. We simply need to change the fadeIn event to fadeOut. So let's go ahead and do that. We'll change fadeIn to fadeOut on each event. And since we're fading out in the opposite direction, we also need to invert the time intervals. Next, we need to remove the display none property because we want all the divs to be visible on page load. So once you've done that, save the file, and we can refresh our web browser. So now we can see that all the divs are visible on page load. And if we click the fade effect button, each div fades out in the opposite direction, just as we intended.